Hello and welcome to Scarva 2012 for the annual Black Institution demonstration and sham fight. Today is one of the most colourful and well-attended days in the calendar, a day of pageantry, a day where old friends meet and new friendships are formed. Today's broadcast, brought to you by ljhstv, is jointly sponsored by the Ulster Scots Agency and Tourism Ireland. And the programme is coming live to you today from Scarva. The parade is making its way now as I speak through the village and along the domain, where it will reach here at the front of the house, and the Royal Black officials will review the parade. Today the officials are Sovereign Grand Master Miller Farr, Assistant Sovereign Grand Master William Heck and Nigel Reid, Sovereign Grand Treasurer William Abernethy, and Armagh County officers County Grand Master Billy Scott and Assistant County Grand Master David Livingstone. The parade is on its way, as you can see it coming, wending its way along the domain now.
There's a wee lady behind here, can't see.
To the front of the house, where the officials will.
I'm going to focus on the flag on the pole here.
The officers and officials are just getting ready for the start of the parade review. The parade today will be led by Erin's First Royal Blues from Tandragee, and this is the oldest known preceptory, granted the status of the oldest known preceptory since its reconstitution of 1846. It can actually trace its warrant back until 1838, and the banner of Erin's First Royal Blues is the painting of the original warrant, and they still have that original warrant in their possession from 1846. So Erin's First Royal Blues Preceptory, RBP number 1, Tandragee District number 1. And this is coming to you today live from Scarva in County Down on the 13th of July 2012. a lovely sunny day here today at Scarva. The sun is trying to break through the clouds. It is warm, and the massive crowd here today, as usual, for the annual black demonstration and sham fight. The sham fight, of course, is a reenactment of the Battle of the Boyne. King William fought King James in 1690, and of course, as legend has it, he pitched his tent and tethered his horse at the Spanish chestnut tree in Scarva Domain, which is right in front of me as I speak now, just at the front of the house. You can see there the officials getting ready for the review, which will just start in a few minutes. And once again, we are coming to you live from Scarva, courtesy of ljhstv, and sponsored jointly by the Ulster Scots Agency and Tourism Ireland. The Sham Fight Committee comprises of Sir Knights from the Sir Knight Alfred Buller Memorial, RBP 1000, and it is responsible for planning and marshalling the entire event. They've been working behind the scenes tirelessly to make sure that today is as successful and more than in all other previous years. Last year, of course, you remember, they celebrated also the 400th anniversary of the publication of the authorised version of King James Bible. And this year, some of the preceptories marching and parading today are actually celebrating 100 or 150 years. The colourful banners of the black depict many varied themes, and the most frequently used themes are, of course, scriptural, like Moses and the burning bush, David and Goliath, Elijah on Mount Carmel, Garden of Eden or Noah's Ark. Others portray emblems of the institution, like the burning bush once again, or the link and chain, and some commemorate distinguished Sir Knights of days gone by. 4 new preceptories were granted warrants in this last year in the USA, all initially encamped within the jurisdiction of the Provincial Grand Chapter of Ontario East, and they are McKinley number 1690 in California. And here is the parade beginning, led by Erin's First Royal Blues, Tandragee District number 1, the oldest district in the whole institution, and the oldest known preceptory, Erin's First Royal Blues. As you can see, their banner just coming into view behind the band. This is Rock and Silver Band, Ocker in County Tyrone. And you can just see the banner coming into view. The banner actually has the painting of the original warrant from 1846. See Erin's First Royal Blues just going past the review party. Coming up behind them are the First Royals of County Down from Guildford. And they are accompanied by Kells-Water Fleet Band. They actually have a new banner this year. Their first warrant was issued on the 20th of May 1889 to Archibald McGill, First Royals of County Down, accompanied by Kells-Water Fleet Band. Have Points Pass Silver Band. They are coming with RBP number 24, Mount Carmel, from Pounce Pass. They were formed in 1904. They were granted the title of Mount Carmel. The original met before that at Auglish, and they had some foundation members from 1846, where the warrant was first issued, and then it was reissued in 1925. RBP number 24, Mount Carmel, Pounce Pass. Drumderg Loyalist, flute band. They're coming with Guildford True Blues, RBP number 66. They've been in existence since 1856. They also have a new banner this year, along with number 18. They both had new banners 34 years ago together in the same year, and they're continuing that tradition. That's RBP number 66, Guildford True Blues. Party, along with Guildford True Blues. That's Ockentober Pipe Band on your screen now. Ockentober Pipe Band, and they are accompanying RBP number 89, Lily of the Valley, from Ahori. Their warrant was issued in 1851. As I've said, this is all Tandragee District number 1, the oldest district in the Royal Black Institution. And this Lily of the Valley preceptory is one of the largest preceptories in the Tandragee District. Just passing by the officials at the review is Shane Hill Rising Star. Shane Hill Rising Star, just coming past the review now, RBP 266 from Ballydugan. Crozier Memorial, Cavanagh, County Armagh type band. And they are leading the Shane Hill Rising Star RBP 266 from Ballydugan. And now we see Mullabrack Market Hill Accordion Band. In front of me here you can see RBP number 432, Victory, encamped at Ballyshiel. They were formed in 1945 and the name is derived from the Allied victory in World War II. They've been coming to Scarva since 1946 and Sir Knight William Mason was a founder member. On your picture you can just see coming into sight the RPB 1000, Sir Knight Alfred Buller Memorial, RBP number 1000. They are of course the host preceptory, but before them we still have to see Meredith Memorial, RBP number 464. They're encamped at Tullymacan, been there since 1982. They were previously encamped at Carna, a former border post between Keady and Castleblaney. They've been coming to Scarva since their formation in 1982 and were named after the late R.D. Meredith. The Sir Knight Alfred Buller Memorial banner in your picture now. Big crowds today, as you can see, enjoying the family atmosphere here today at Scarva. Lots of children around, lots of colour, pageantry, a day full of history, a day full of friendship, old friends meeting up. Some say, I'll see you at Scarva, and they don't meet up again until the next year. But firm friends all the same. So many people sit in the same spot. They've been here since very early this morning, all getting their seats out and ready. From even 7 o'clock this morning, all making sure that they get the spot that they want to sit in to get the best view of the parade. The parade, of course, is reviewed at the front of the house, Scarva House, which is where King William pitched his tent and tethered his horse at the Spanish chestnut tree in front of the house way back in 1690, before the Battle of the Boyne. The house was originally owned by the Rileys, and the bell in the parish church in Scarva was actually presented by King William. Scarva is one of the institution's most colourful and well-attended demonstrations, and is attended yearly by preceptories from Tandragee, Newry, Portadown, Markethill, Banbridge, Rathfriland and Lower Ivey. The parade is always led by Tandragee district, and they are the oldest district in the institution, with their oldest known preceptory being RBP number 1, Aaron's First Royal Blues, who can of course trace their warrant right back to 1838, and they were granted the status of the oldest known preceptory when the institution was reconstituted in 1846. Their banner has a painting of the original warrant, and they still have the original warrant of 1846. And here we have a pre-recorded clip of Miller Farr, the Sovereign Grand Master. With me is Miller Farr, Sovereign Grand Master of the Imperial Grand Black Chapter of the British Commonwealth. Scarva today, what does Scarva mean to you?
Well, first of all, I'd like to take the opportunity of welcoming everyone along here to Scarva for our annual demonstration. It is one of the biggest events in Northern Ireland in terms of spectators. In fact, it's the biggest single day event in that it brings in probably 100,000 people to Scarva. It's a family day. It's a day when we, the members of the institution, have the opportunity to witness to a reformed faith and to demonstrate our commitment to that faith.
Reverend Nigel Reid, Chaplain of County Tyrone. What does Scarva mean to you personally?
Scarva is a very special day for me, particularly as a minister of the gospel. It's an opportunity for us within the Reformed faith to demonstrate that faith and to present it to our local community.
Okay, obviously it's a Christian organisation, it's a Trinitarian organisation,
Yes.
and how do you go about your role? What is actually involved in your role as chaplain?
Well, a very important aspect of the Royal Black Institution is to study the Holy Scriptures and increase our knowledge of the Reformed faith. And as a chaplain, I have opportunities within the Black Institution to teach the Bible, to study the Bible with our members, and also to promote the Reformed faith. We do that in our meetings, and we also do that when we demonstrate at our parades. There is a religious service here at Scarva today, which is a critical part of what we do when we parade.
What about the banners? I know the banners are very important, and there's a lot of biblical messages there.
Yeah, the banners are very special to us. They're a critical part of a parade, and they add greatly to the pageantry. But especially for me personally, the biblical paintings on many banners that you see in Scarva teach something of what the Bible teaches. For example, you might see a preceptory carrying a banner today with the 10 Commandments on it. You might have a banner with Moses before the burning bush. And there's wonderful paintings, real works of art that are on display today that can really help us understand more of what the Bible teaches.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any particular favourite emblems that you would see on banners that relate to Bible stories that are favourites of yours?
Yeah, for me personally, Moses before the burning bush is a very special painting. To see God taking something like an ordinary bush in the wilderness and transforming it by His presence is something that I can learn from in the Black Institution personally, that God can take an ordinary person just like me and transform it by His presence. And that's something that we desire to see in all people, and in our membership we teach the transforming power of God.
What about some of the other emblems or symbols like the Red Cross or the Open Bible?
Yeah, the Red Cross is a very special emblem in the Royal Black Institution. You'll see it very much today to the fore, and it reminds us of God's love. When the Lord Jesus came to earth to die on Calvary's cross, it was red because He shed His precious blood there. And that reminds us again of the love of God and what God has done for us when He sent Jesus to be our Saviour.
And the Open Bible.
The Open Bible again reminds us of the importance of reading the Bible for ourselves, to keep it open and not closed, and to seek to live by it.
Scarva, by far the largest cultural event that we have. 100,000 people coming along to see 3,000 participants from the Black Institution walking along with 80 bands. Those 80 bands will show in a very, very substantial way the richness of the musical traditions of Ulster Scots in this part of the world. Not all of the richness, but certainly the great strength in our musical traditions comes from the band scene, and you will see flute bands, you will see pipe bands, you'll see accordions, all of those very, very rich elements within Ulster Scots culture.
And the parade is moving off again. And it's Mullabrack accordion band, and they are with RBP number 432 Victory, encamped at Ballyshiel. A name derived from the Allied victory in World War II, and they've been coming to Scarva since 1946. And here is the host preceptory, RBP number 1000, Sir Knight Alfred Buller Memorial, and they are being led today by Waringsford Pipe Band. No. True Blues on your screen now. Bestbrick True Blues coming up, and they are accompanying the United Sons of Ulster RBP number 10212. Waringsford Pipe Band on your screen now, and they're accompanying the Sir Knight Alfred Buller Memorial RBP 1000, which are of course the host preceptory for Scarva. Flute Band coming up from Londonderry. Churchill Flute Band from Londonderry, and they are actually with a visiting preceptory from the Maiden City Preceptory RBP number 113, and they are from the City of Londonderry number 2 district, and they're including some new members with them this year, and they are of course encamped at Londonderry. Gibby, RBP, which are visitors as well. We're now approaching Market Hill District. Number 3 are coming up. That was the Star of Hope, RBP number 1087 from Ballylisk, and they were at the end of the Chandrigee District. Coming up now, RBP number 54, Grip Past the Light, and they have been encamped at Market Hill since 1861. They actually had their 150th anniversary meeting last year in Dan Winter's cottage. And they are accompanied by Market Hill Pipe Band. Pride of Rich Hill, RBP number 133, and they meet at Rich Hill. They were previously encamped at Clocken, and they too have a pipe band with them today. RBP 595 coming into view, the Rising Star of Bethlehem encamped at Red Rock, and on their banner you can see a picture of the wise men following the star. They're actually the mother preceptory of RBP number 443 in the Primatial District, and that's Clegg Memorial number 622 coming. They're encamped at Tyrone's Ditches. They were formed in 1948 and at Scarva ever since. They're named in memory of Sir Knight Samuel Clegg, and they're accompanied by another pipe band. RBP number 658 is the Star and Garter at Ochnagurgan. They were formed in 1905, and then they were known as the Tullyballen Star of Temperance. They moved to Ochnagurgan in 1920, and they changed their name in 1964 to Star and Garter. They've been coming to Scarva for over 60 years. RBP 801, Knights of the Red Cross, encamped at Hamilton's Bawn. This preceptory originally met in Hong Kong and were associated then with the military, and they're accompanied today by Hamilton's Bawn Silver Band. Silver Band was passing us by with Knights of the Red Cross, RBP number 801. RBP number 1133, Guiding Star at Newton Hamilton. I've been in camp there since just after their formation. They were formed just after World War I. That's Guiding Star at Newton Hamilton. Newry District number 4 from County Down approaching now. They're led by the Pride of Ballinran from Kilkeel in County Down. Whitewater Pipe Band just passing. RBP number 90, the Commons Victory, and they are encamped at Commons Orange Hall in Newry. They were formed in 1945 and have been coming to Scarva ever since. Their name derived from an Allied victory in World War II. Commons Victory at Commons Orange Hall, Newry. RBP number 90. Commons Victory, RBP number 90, with Commons silver band. Royal Desert, RBP number 215, is coming into view. They're from Newry, once again Newry District number 4. Market Hill Protestant Boys. They are leading Royal Desert, RBP number 215. Tullyballin's silver band. They are leading RBP number 221, Golden Crown at Circe. They're neighbours of Tullyhappy. They were formed in 1956 and they've been coming to Scarva ever since then. Their first warrant was in fact issued to a Scottish preceptory in 1870, but was handed in by Greenock RPP in 1956. Coming up behind them is Ballymartin Mourne District Pipe Band, and they are accompanying Burning Bush RBP number 222, encamped at Warren Point. Burning Bush, of course, an emblem from the Black Institution and also one of the scriptural emblems that was seen on many banners. This is the home preceptory of Lieutenant Colonel Stephen McKee from Banbridge, who was tragically killed last year in Afghanistan in Helmand province. RBP 323, in front of you. number 348, the Olive Branch, encamped at Sheepbridge. And they're led today by Donegal Accordion Band. RBP number 997, Link and Chain at Mullaglass. They were formed on November the 6th, 1919 with 11 founder members. Their first worshipful master was Sir Knight Henry Scott, and this is the home preceptory of Sir Knight Colin Whiteside, who is currently the Grand Master of County Down. Bridge district now coming into view, and they're led today by RBP number 27, Mount Horeb. RBP number 27, Mount Horeb from Banbridge District number 6. And they have Downshire Guiding Star, flute band, very distinctive uniform there. Solomon's Golden Knights, RBP number 119, and they're encamped at Lawrencetown. They were formed in 1856, and they had several encampments before settling in Lawrencetown and have been there since 1930. This is Banbridge District number 6. RBP number 137 from Banbridge District number 6. It's King David's Morning Star, and they're encamped at Ballynagarrick in Guildford. They were formed in 1964 and they've been at Scarva ever since. Their name was recommended by Sir Knight Reverend A.J. Finch, who had been in the institution for over 50 years, and he was a past Imperial Deputy Grand Chaplain and also Rector of Knocknamuckley Parish Church. Their first banner was unfurled by the then Prime Minister Sir Knight Captain Terence O'Neill. This is RBP 402, King Solomon's Rising Star, and they're encamped at Loch Brickland and have been there since 1907. They have a very active fellowship with an emphasis on evangelical outreach, and they will be accompanied by Drumlock Pipe Band with their drummer David Scott. RBP number 435 coming up. That's the Covenant of Peace, and they're encamped at Kilmacree, sometimes usually known as Whitehill. They were formed in 1878 and they've been at Scarva ever since, except for the war years. One of their members, Andrew McRoberts, was on the team last year that went to Chiwoko Hospital, which was of course the chosen charity for that year. And this year's chosen charity is Alzheimer's Society, and you'll see that they have a big presence here today at Scarva. RBP 508, Bethlehem's Guiding Star. Still in Banbridge District number 6. RBP number 978, Mount Shepherd at Drumnavady, formed in 1919, and they have been attending Scarva since 1921. RBP number 994, Knights of the Golden Crown. They're encamped at Canolly. Another old preceptory here, but they weren't issued in the period just after World War I, when many men were returning from the horrors of France. to be a lovely day here at Scarva. It's not too hot for the men to march, but yet it's pleasant enough for the crowd to sit and watch. So once again, we are live today in Scarva, 2012, 13th of July, for the annual demonstration and sham fight, brought to you courtesy of the Ulster Scots Agency and Tourism Ireland. And we are ljhstv.
That might seem a bit but the sun is actually that bright. I'm over the big guy.
RBP number 170 from Mount Horeb. And they are in Rathfriland District number 7, and they were formed in 1865. Drumlock pipe band in front of me now. Drumlock pipe band, and they're accompanying RBP number 17 to Mount Horeb. And Drumlock pipe band, of course, a very famous drummer, David Scott. Their band is led by Lindsay. She has been having drum major lessons with the Ulster Scots Agency for this last year. Rathfriland RBP number 638, Knights of the Crimson Arrow, and they are encamped at Lisnamulligan. They've been formed in 1952, and their name was actually selected from a newspaper article. finish holding up nicely for this year's demonstration. Old boys just passing by the review party, and they're from Rathfriland. And that brings us to the end of the Rathfriland district, and beginning the last district to come today is of course Portadown district number 5, and they will be led, as is always, by Portadown ex-servicemen, RBP number 326. Behind them will be RBP number 25, Alan's Chosen Few. RBP number 30, Red Star of Drumcree. They're camped, of course, at Drumcree. They are actually one of the only preceptories to own their own hall. Drumcree Black Hall. It's RBP number 30, Red Star of Drumcree. RBP number 78, coming on your screen now. That's Rahab's Scarlet Knights, and they're encamped at Carleton Street in Portadown. RBP 110 coming into view now, and that's Sago Churchview, and they're encamped at Sago Orange Hall in Portadown. This is Portadown District number 5. Corcrane, RBP number 141. RBP 141 Corcrane just coming into view. Saviours, RBP number 217, and they're encamped at Drumnahunshan. This is still Portadown District number 5, the last of our districts to pass at Scarva today. RBP number 232, Epworth Temperance, encamped at Thomas Street Methodist Church in Portadown. At one time they claimed to have 7 Methodist ministers in their membership. They were formed in 1947 and they've been coming to Scarva for around 60 years. One of their members, a former member, Sir Knight J.J. Bell, was a significant figure in his time, and he served as both Imperial Deputy Grand Master and Imperial Grand Treasurer. They are accompanied today by Shield Hill Young Defenders from Scotland. RBP number 267, R.H. Bell Memorial, and they're encamped at Kilmariarty, Orange Hall. It was named after Sir Knight R.H. Bell, and it is actually the home preceptory of the present Worshipful Master of Portadown, Sir Knight Robert Wallace. Pride of the Birches accordion band coming up. Greetings from Bergen in Norway. As we know, the Royal Black Institution is a worldwide institution. In front of you can see Pride of the Birches accordion band. They are bringing the greetings from Bergen in Norway. RBP number 663 coming up at St John's, encamped at Carlton Street. The 4th out of 5 preceptories that are all encamped at Carlton Street. Londonderry. RBP 744. This is the Prince. And this ends the parade. At Compton Carlton Street. And with them they have Portadown Defenders Old Boys, a band of approximately 80 members. This is the end of the parade today at Scarva 2012. Yes. Okay, what exactly is the Royal Black Institution then? What's it all about?
The Royal Black Institution is a worldwide men's ministry, and across the world, in many parts of the world, in many different cultures, members of the Royal Black Institution come together to learn of the Reformed faith and to study the Bible. And within the Royal Black Institution we take this very seriously, and we're really encouraged by what goes on. We have, at the moment, we have members of the Royal Black Institution who meet together on a regular basis to pray. We have choirs that sing gospel music, and members of the Royal Black Institution, and we continue to develop the work of Christian outreach and ministry. And this year in Northern Ireland we celebrate the signing of the Ulster Solemn League and Covenant. We've produced a little leaflet that brings the teaching of that covenant right back into the Bible, and it highlights the foundation of what Covenant is all about. We're currently putting together a project called Tech 5, which will teach something of the core values of the Reformed faith. And it's very exciting being a member of the Royal Black Institution from a Christian perspective, to have that opportunity to meet together on a worldwide level and to promote the Reformed faith together.
When you say that it's a worldwide organisation, how worldwide is it? What exactly do you mean?
Well, we have members throughout Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland, but in addition to that, they're in Scotland and England, in Canada, in the United States of America, in Australia and New Zealand, and indeed in West Africa and Togo and Ghana. And as you will see from the flags there, this represents the country where our membership is to be found. So it is truly worldwide.
Yeah, and the headquarters for all of those?
The headquarters for the institution is here in Brownlow House in Lurgan. And I would say that perhaps maybe the difference in other loyal orders and us is each one of them has their own autonomous jurisdiction within their own country. For example, the Grand Lodge of Ireland, the Grand Lodge of England, the Grand Lodge of Scotland. But we are a worldwide organisation, and there's one headquarters, there's one set of rules and one set of senior officers for the whole institution.
We're working alongside organisations like the Black Institution. They themselves are working very hard to market Scarva and to get the message across. And one of the things that's very interesting to see is maybe 80% of those who are visiting Scarva today have been there before and are committed to coming back on an annual basis. So that level of commitment from people out there in the community is excellent. Obviously, we're trying to get the message across through our own web outlets, through our Ulster Scot newspaper, which we're delighted will be back into print from September onwards, and through a whole variety of other ways, being out in the community, showcasing. There'll be an Ulster Scots agency presence at Scarva on the day, and also at a wide variety of other festivals and community events around the country.
And here's a clip on the history of Scarva. What about Scarva itself? It's certainly a centrepiece of pageantry. What does Scarva mean to you personally? Have you been going there for a long time?
Probably 30 plus years. And the beauty about it is that apart from the bands, the music, the atmosphere and the spectacle of it all, it is a family day. You see the same people there year after year in the same place year after year. And it is also an opportunity to renew acquaintances and make new friends.
Scarva is very special. It is our largest single demonstration. Indeed, it's the largest single one-day event in Northern Ireland, attracting 80 to 100,000 people every year, the vast majority of whom come back year after year after year. It's a family day. It's a day for far more for renewing acquaintances than perhaps making new ones, because you see so many folk you know, you meet your neighbours and your friends from other places, and it is also a very special day to allow us as an institution, particularly in this part of Armagh and West Down, to reaffirm our Reformed Protestant heritage, which is the point of our platform proceedings.
What about the significance of Scarva, the place? I mean, why was that chosen?
At one time there were a fair number of sham fights throughout Ireland, including, believe it or not, one in Banton in County Cork, but they all disappeared through the 19th century, and only Scarva has stood the test of time. Initially, the records show that the sham fight was organised by the Orange Institution, but by the late 1800s it had become a black day, and it has been organised by the Sham Fight Committee under the auspices of the County Armagh Grand Black Chapter ever since. The particular significance of Scarva and the domain is the tradition that it was under the chestnut tree in Scarva domain that King William slept on his way to the Battle of the Boyne. Okay,
so we can see that tree today?
You can see that tree today. It's still there, and very well looked after and preserved.
Okay. What about the fact that today's live stream is sponsored by Tourism Ireland and the Ulster Scots Agency? How important do you think that it is that we get the message out to the public that this is a cultural day, a social event? It's the biggest single spectator event in Northern Ireland.
We think it's very important because we do feel as an institution that in the past our contribution to wider society has perhaps been downplayed or overlooked, and we're delighted that we have this opportunity of spreading the message to a wider audience than has heard it before. Over the last number of years we have had a number of visitors to Scarva from the world of civic life, and we're delighted to be able to take this a step further today and let the wider world see what we're about, and let folks see us as we are and not perhaps as others would want to portray us.
The sham fight is about to begin. King James, King William, and even though traditionally we know the outcome of this fight, it doesn't make the spectacle any the less marvellous to see. Two kings gone past on horseback, preparing for battle. You can see all these throngs of people coming along. They've all followed the parade up through the domain, and they're now making their way to the area where the sham fight, of course, will be shown. That's one of the greatest spectacles in the Northern Ireland calendar, and this is one of the single most well-attended single-day events in the Northern Ireland calendar. It's, of course, a tourism experience. There are lots of people here visiting from overseas in the crowd. We have people who come from all over Northern Ireland, especially to see the sham fight and the demonstration, as well as the local people, of course, who have been coming for years. And they've all been here since very early this morning, all parking their chairs in the best spots. They've all got their picnics with them and their flasks of tea and coffee. There's a fun fair. There's lots of caterers around, ice cream vans, coffee vans, donut vans, you name it, they've got it here. And it's a really fantastic family day out for everyone. We're waiting here with bated breath in anticipation for the sham fight to begin, which we're going to bring you live this year, live at Scarva Domain. We have a camera in the arena where you will be able to see up close how King William defeats King James. Once again, live at Scarva 2012. This is the ring where it will all end, with of course the victory for King William on his white horse. The crowd are just gathering around the ring, everyone jostling for position. Everyone wants to see exactly what's going on down there, and the fight will begin further on down the field, of course, and the men will skirmish their way up through the field up until they arrive at the arena where the final blows will be dealt to King James. The sham fight is reenacted every year, and it is organised by the committee of the sham fight, the Sham Fight Committee, and they all belong to RBP 1000, the Sir Knight Alfred Buller Memorial Preceptory, who are of course the host preceptory of Scarva and this whole demonstration. They've been working very hard. They marshal the event themselves, they plan the event. Everything that happens today is all down to those men. And of course some of them are acting in the reenactment as well. We're going to run another clip now by Ian Crozier from the Ulster Scots Agency. He's the Chief Executive.
There's no doubt that for good relations to flourish in Northern Ireland, you need to have a richness of culture represented. You need to have, as people often talk about, mutual respect and understanding. In order for there to be mutual respect and understanding, you need Ulster Scots to be extremely visible alongside the Irish culture, which is undoubtedly very visible within Northern Ireland. We need to make sure that Ulster Scots is up there alongside Irish culture, that it is clear that there is an Ulster Scots presence here, that there's a richness, that there's a history and a heritage to that, and that we want people to recognise and get involved in.
The sham fight will be brought to you live in just a few moments. I'm sure you're watching with anticipation. If you're just joining us, you're joining us live at Scarva in 2012, a little village in County Down, where for years the Royal Black Institution have had one of the most colourful and well attended displays of pageantry in the Northern Ireland calendar. And this live stream today has been brought to you by ljhstv, jointly sponsored by the Ulster Scots Agency and Tourism Ireland. Of course, the Royal Black Institution have been working very hard behind the scenes for the last few years, in particular to promote today's demonstration as a family event, a community event, and as you can see from the crowds that are gathered here today, that's very much what it is. Lots of people out from early morning with their picnics, their picnic rugs, lots of chairs. They've all come with umbrellas prepared for the rain just in case, but thankfully today they haven't needed them as yet.
I have a picnic shop here.
Just a wonderful family atmosphere today in Scarva. A real buzz around the place as you walk around and see people smiling, chatting, enjoying the spectacle in front of them, enjoying chat up with family, catching up with old friends. Some of them are making new friends. It's a wonderful day full of fun and history and culture, music, acting. And we're just waiting now for the reenactment, the sham fight to begin, which is of course the reenactment of the Battle of the Boyne, in which King William fought King James in 1690, and King William won. King William traditionally is portrayed on his white horse, and the reenactment actually takes place right beside the Spanish chestnut tree which he tethered his horse to in 1689 on the way down to the Boyne. He pitched his tent, he slept under that Spanish chestnut tree, and it is still here today, all those hundreds of years later, for everyone to come and celebrate. We have a clip coming up now from Glenn Pratt. He's all the way from Texas, and he is the president of the Ulster Scots Society in America.
I'm Glenn Pratt, president of the Ulster Scots Society of America, and I'm headquartered in Amarillo, Texas. I'm here in Northern Ireland once again this July, as I've been starting 8 years ago in 2004. And of course, I'm going to be at Scarva again. This will be my 5th visit to Scarva on the 13th. And of course, as everyone knows, if you're going to be in Northern Ireland in July, you have to go to Scarva. And so there I'll be.
What would your links with tourism be?
I first came to Northern Ireland in the summer of 2004 at the invitation of my good friend Maynard Hanna, who's now associated with the Ulster Scots Agency. We first met at an Appalachian Folk Festival in Tennessee in 2002, and he invited me to his home at that time. So I came in 2004 in July, and I saw a different aspect of Ulster Scots culture that I really hadn't been aware of before through my reading of Scots-Irish history related to America and the migrations that occurred in the 1700s as I researched my ancestors. And when I came in '04, I saw the parades, the small town festivals, the friendly family atmosphere, the warmth of the people, the music, the dancing, the whole cultural panorama that is what I call the Ulster Scots cultural renaissance today. And it really opened my eyes to what's occurring in Northern Ireland these days. And I had such a magnificent experience that I said at that time when I left in '04 that I want to share this experience with other Americans. And so I did. And I went home and I formed my first tour and came back in 2005 in July, brought a group of Americans and shared that same experience with them. They were bowled over, and I've been coming back with groups ever since.
What would be the significance of Scarva to someone from Texas?
Well, for me, someone from Texas, there are a number of things about the Scarva experience that are significant. One, the role that Scarva played in the history of the Ulster Scots people and the turn of history that occurred right after that, with which we're all familiar. And that's important to the evolution of the Ulster Scots people and to the evolution of the constitutional democracy that occurred in these islands, and then what we inherited in America and built upon. And then there are other aspects as well. The fun of a festival atmosphere, a family atmosphere, which everyone enjoys, and then also the parade and the bands. As you may be aware, in Texas especially, that part of the United States, marching bands and their association with football and parades are very big events. I was in a marching band growing up. I was a drum major. I played an instrument. So that has a personal appeal to me as well, the music and the marching, that aspect. And also, in a way, it's like a homecoming for a number of the people that I've met through my years here in Northern Ireland that are associated with the Ulster Scots cultural movement. It seems as though Scarva is the place where they all come to meet. And so when I do come here in the summertime, if I don't have a chance to get around and see everyone, I'll catch them at Scarva. There they'll be. It's the homecoming.
Scarva, by far.
Now, if you've been patiently waiting for the sham fight to begin, just sit tight for another few minutes, and they're making their way into position as I speak. They've just gone past. The kings on their horses have just gone down into the field. They're getting ready to start. And we will be bringing you the pictures live. And we're actually in, our cameras are in the arena to show you the very end up close. I think I heard guns. There's the guns have started. And they're off. The sham fight has begun. And you can see the smoke rising from the field. They try to shoot the flags to pieces. The red flag, of course, for King William, and the green flag for King James. The skirmish is taking place in the field in front of the chestnut tree, where King William originally tethered his horse and pitched his tent on the way to the Battle of the Boyne in 1690. And this is a reenactment of that battle between King William and King James. You see the battle rages in the field in front of me. It makes its way through the crowd, and the crowd has to part to let the soldiers through. Sword fighting in the field now, as well as gunshots. And smoke continues to billow as this fight makes its way up the field. The battle is soon going to come to an end. And there I see King James approaching from my right. King William is approaching from my left. And their armies coming along. One army, of course, being cheered, and one army not quite so welcome today. And here we are, we're in the ring where the real fight is about to begin. King James's army just still approaching the arena. King William's army ready for battle. The green flag has been shot to pieces, completely off its flagpole. They've hoisted it up again. It's going to go again. Red flag still flying. King William bringing the fight to a victorious conclusion.
I think there's more people down in Scarva today. Well, a lot of people thought this about Buckerhill and probably did. Decided to stay down the town. Oh, no, it was that.
And King William's victory brings today's sham fight to a conclusion. Today was brought to you live from Scarva, and thank you for watching. Today's programme was brought to you jointly sponsored by the Ulster Scots Agency and Tourism Ireland, and was brought to you live by ljhstv.